Oh, and I look at that and I go, property's not the way to go. But the reality is McDonald's is doing it right. And so is all the rest of them, right? Owning all this land, it never goes down in value. So taking that goal and building a true asset is in jumping into, buying property when you can, learning from
Robert Kiyosaki.
Yeah, Robert Kiyosaki, knowing what's a true asset and what's not. Now you could buy a real lemon, right? And if you're ever going to get your money out of it, maybe, maybe not. But if you're breaking even, you still own the land. The land's going to go up in value.
Yeah. Well, real quick. Welcome to the Unrivaled Potential Podcast.
Oh yeah, we forgot the intro. That was an excerpt.
Mike Pomeroy, Mr. Everything Unrivaled, Unrivaled Plumbing and Heating, Unrivaled Shower and Bath, and the Unrivaled Potential Podcast. And I'm Ryan McKee. Welcome back. Exactly. There's if you've got the funds or can access the funds, and you see a good value on a property, doesn't matter if people are complaining about the interest rates. Okay, they're what 7-8%. We've gone down a little bit, but only marginally. Well, relative to history, that's a great rate. People are just spoiled because, guys like me are paying 2.25%.
Right.
And so, the guys in the 2.25% rate place don't want to move. And if you've paid under 5, you don't want to pay 7.
Okay.
Well, okay, but it's a heck of a lot better than 17, 18, 19.
But rich people are still buying, right?
Because they're smart.
And that's the thing. It's a broke person's mentality. And really what we're diving into today, guys, is how to keep the wealth growing. I struggle with this of thinking of multiple business ideas, and I'm constantly reminded in my own time of thought of putting those things to the side and focusing on the one thing. Yeah. When the one thing is doing what it needs to do, you don't have to keep growing that anymore if you don't want to. Then is the time to move over into like Alan, like last guest, right? Of how do they accidentally kind of fell into the game. And
I love his the way you put it, because he told me the same thing, and then he told you that God tricked him into investing in real estate.
Yeah.
I thought that was awesome.
And you stay out of it because it could be a real headache, but there's a way to do it, and they've been successful, and they've got 10 or 12 properties now, and it's a slow build on those things, but they've been wise in their investments, and that's their retirement plan.
Yeah.
And if you look at it like that, you go, okay, well, I've got the one thing growing. Now I dive into this next thing, and you start trying to figure out how to make money at that. So you're not sitting idle when you do have a lot of money in the bank, but you figure out how to use that money when you got it. Say you've got a nest egg of a couple $100,000. There's some people out there that would say, well, you take the $200,000 and you buy one property for cash and you go from there. And then I think there's some wisdom in that depending on your capabilities. But if you've gone from business ownership into next business ownership, then you would do it a more traditional way. I think we're getting an influx of clients now as we've marketed more to fixing rich people problems that are financing the work that they need done on their home if it's not their primary residence. Because that is a smart business move.
Yeah. They may have the money to write you a check today, but
they could sell a yacht.
I
mean, we've got people that could potentially sell a yacht, and they've got, they've already got millions in the bank and they want millions more, and they're going through financing because it's smart business moves, right? It's a tax write-off, and you look and you start shaping your mentality to follow that process of, okay, how do if you go into real estate, right, you slow grow it until it all combines at once. Very similar to what we're doing right now and just in the plumbing and trade industry, right? It's slow grow, well, we're all going the right direction, and then it all is going to peak at the top, and then it's just going to boom and everything's set in the right spot, right? So rental property is the same way. You build a system of how much you're going to charge, how much you want to maintain every year. And then it may take you 5 years to start a new business, which is a rental property, or multiple. And then after that 5 years, it peaks and then you've got everything set. And the goal is obviously not to have a bunch of maintenance, but our skill set is I can come in, and I've worked with a lot of landlords that are doing it right. They go in and put in high quality materials that are going to last for a multitude of renters, unless you get some kind of meth head in there that's, chewing the floorboards, right?
It's a fun picture. This drywall's delicious.
Yeah. You have no idea. Yeah, yeah. Seen it. Yeah.
Yep. No.
I've seen it where the heating went out in their home. The furnace went down, and instead of letting the landlord know, they tore down an interior wall and started a campfire in the living room. Real story. Yeah. They went, there's 2x4s right there.
That's why insurance on owning a rental property is so much higher, right? Because you got idiots like that.
Yeah. And the horror stories, they make you hold back just a little bit. But even us, as we grow and build, we're getting to the point of the next big asset for us is going to be our own building, right?
Mm.
It's going to be an asset for the company. And then we'll use that asset once it's paid down, whatever we need to do, to then finance other things that our business needs to do, whether it's another shop, another location, whatever.
Yeah. Well, and we've kind of learned this internally, but I've seen it in a lot of companies that I've worked with. You get guys who their company's doing well and starting to spit off cash, and they go buy bigger and better trucks, and they're just buying excavators and things like that. And sometimes an excavator is a really good asset, but a lot of times those bigger, better trucks and the extra expensive stuff that they're buying, they think, oh, this is a tax write-off, it's fine. But they're buying tools and stuff that's going to depreciate versus buying assets that are going to appreciate.
Right.
And
yeah,
talking about good quotes, I haven't watched all of Ballers, but the first 5 minutes that I did watch, the guy says, you lease toys and you buy assets. And that's the perfect example of like, hey, you don't need the F450 with all the leather and
right.
heated seats and stuff like that because your roofing company is doing well. You need dirt and quality assets that are to appreciate and generate cash flow, and not need to be replaced in 2 to 5 years. So
yeah, and even us looking at that now, as much as we've grown, leasing assets is a very viable option. To each van pulls out, we know the numbers, we know what they're going to make every month, and it doesn't even make sense with how we're growing to own all of those things because they depreciate. And yeah, you've got the payments, but what does that payment bring you? $1,500 a month for a van compared to you put a guy in it and he's making 40 grand a month in sales. Well, it's a no-brainer, right? I don't need to own that asset. I don't need to. That's not helpful. And now you go to a bank and you're like, well, okay, I need a loan for this. And they go, well, what's your assets? And you give them a vehicle. If it's over 4 years old, then they don't even want to use it anymore.
So it's not really
it's not really an asset. It looks like one. And I thought that in the very beginning, and lesson learned, right?
Yeah.
I mean, they're nice in the fact that you don't have to,
theoretically, you can get to the point where you no longer have to pay on it. You own it outright, and it's a more efficient tool.
But by the time that happens, you're fixing it, right? So the swap that like Dave Ramsey talks about of a car payment each month, it doesn't make sense for us when we start swapping to $1,500 in maintenance a month maybe, or probably potentially higher. It's not worth it because you've got downtime too. So on the business side of things, I just need something that's never going to break. And is that worth $1,500 a month for the end of time? Absolutely. It could bring down potential numbers of overhead, but that overhead's not worth it for what else it brings with it. Maintenance costs or whatever else.
Yep. We want to have these rich people problems of, let's see, do I want to buy or do I want to lease? And, what's going to look the best as far as taxable income and being able to get financing, things like that. Another great client that I had had a wildly successful landscaping business in Aspen, and he had never lifted a shovel or driven a backhoe or scattered plain sod or anything like that. He was an accountant, but his buddy was a real good landscaper, and they partnered up. And he taught me that he would lease his or he would buy diesel trucks and trade them out every 2 years. Basically, that was the the best time because you get a little bit of depreciation off of them and sell them before they needed any serious work. And they were diesels, so they had great resale value. And I was like, oh, so he had the nicest trucks on the road, and his guys all loved driving his nice trucks, and they worked great, never had any downtime for maintenance or anything like that. You see some of these companies that have a whole fleet of maintenance that has to be done all the time. He never had any of that. These guys were always on the road and making money, and he was the accountant in the back doing the books, so that they were getting all the tax write-offs too. And you sell a Tesla for $50,000 and go around and buy a brand new one for $70,000. Well, it doesn't look so bad.
Right.
Well, anyway.
Well, on that side of it too, if you've been in business for a while, that may be a place to get to if you want to play that game.
Yeah.
What we run into is that even though we can prove the income that we have, it hasn't been in business long enough to allow that to happen, right?
Yeah, and I think he was buying these big diesel trucks that just had to pull everything, and with a service company like this where you need an outfitted van, we want it wrapped, we want it branded, it doesn't make sense to buy them. Even if they were diesels that would resell really good, because nobody wants to buy an Unrivaled plumbing and heating van that's got your logo on it and stuff like that. They want their van, and they want to wrap it their way. So yeah, two different situations. That's the other thing. No one right, and there's no one right answer.
I don't think so. I think it really just depends on that. And for me in the leasing side of it, I don't want to. As much as I like sitting there playing with numbers, taking the time to handle all that stuff is time consuming. Yeah.
Do you actually like that?
Playing with numbers?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I enjoy the heck out of it when I get a full day of seeing where everything's at and where I want to be. And yeah.
Okay. I when you said playing with numbers, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh, he's talking about comparing the monthly payments and the tax advantages and stuff like that between buying and leasing, which you're talking about your company as a whole, looking at the numbers.
Well, I did when we started diving into the leasing side. It was quite valuable to with the company that we've been going through for them they showed me like resale value of what it looks like of this mileage, this age and stuff, and what the regular was, and it was a little bit more expensive than purchasing. And so I went through what my costs were going to be to stock the van, to wrap it, to do everything myself. And I just looked at it and went, it didn't make any sense. Yeah. By the time I put the effort into it, there's already a company that's got it systemized, and it's all I do is DocuSign and it's all done.
And you're talking about saving what, $100, $200 a month?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just dumb.
Which I could go, in the 3 hours it took me to handle all of that, plus manage the appointments for everything else to get done. I could have gone and made
$1,500, $2,000.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yep, $15,000 maybe. Yep,
depends on the day.
Great. Well, and so that kind of is a great segue into something else I wanted to talk about today, and that's connecting with people who are building big businesses or have built them and have had success. Because I had some great conversations earlier this week with Johnny and a couple other people that you probably know, but just getting to know their backgrounds. There's so much wisdom running around, people who've built businesses and made a lot of money and had done things and sold different stuff. I think one of the biggest failings that people get into when they're really focused on running a business and building something is getting so tunnel vision that they're not talking to other people with good ideas. Because I know, even in the short period of time, just say over the summer or something like that, I realized I was getting tunnel vision on, okay, got to do this, this, and this, and not worry about anything else. And then you talk to somebody who's done something similar and they've got a multi-million-dollar idea that can make your life easier, better, and more profitable.
The tunnel vision happens, Ryan, for me, and share your thoughts on this too. Tunnel vision is a real thing, and it happens when you're wearing too many hats. And I've noticed that, like I definitely fall into it when I've got field work going and office work, that tunnel vision is a very real thing. I get to 5 o'clock at night. I'm like, oh crap, I didn't get any of that stuff done. And I forget, I'll go through the whole week and then get to the end of it and realize that I haven't got anything accomplished that I set out for that week. And tunnel vision usually means that you need to start delegating.
Mm. Yep, that's where I'm at right now. I'm trying to make some hard decisions on whether to hire, whether to outsource, and then if so, how. Yeah, we were talking about this earlier today. Do you hire the salesperson? Do you hire the administrative assistant? Do you hire the social media content person? Where do you hire? Where are you going to get the best bang for your buck? And what's going to free you up to do things that are more profitable?
Right.
And sometimes that's hiring a plumber, and sometimes that's hiring an HVAC guy, and sometimes it's hiring a green guy who you can train to do both. Who he's just got the right attitude, the work ethic, and the ravenous hunger for new knowledge that you can take and go, okay, we'll turn you into a little mini me, and you're ready to go out and be a great salesman, a good worker, and a experienced technician in 6 months.
Exactly. Where can I be in 3 months if I hire this person? And then for you, being this is your first, it will be your first employee, right?
Yeah. If I hire somebody,
if you hire somebody, where do you go from there? Because now you have multiple families you're taking care of.
Mm-hmm.
And is the switch going to flip to where this thing's going to grow massively? Will they be able to encourage that and be a part of it? Because I think that happened for my first hire was John. And after that, I went and decided, all right, well, we gotta go big or go home, and everything. Because after that, then you go, okay, now I got to get more workload. And can I take on more workload? And after that, I couldn't handle the phone calls, and then it was just maybe one after the other. But trying to figure out in that time, like we had enough work to where I couldn't handle all of it on my own, so I needed a guy that brought in more income. But then I was missing phone calls, and so we needed someone that was actually producing income by the fact that they were just answering the phone. And now we're at the point where I don't need someone just answering the phone. I need someone calling back consistently, and that's our next level of workflow. And same thing for you, is like figure out the 3 things that are taking up most of your time, or at least going, okay, if she buys me back 2 hours worth of my day, can I go sell her paycheck in that 2 hours worth of time? And that's kind of how I've looked at it for us of whatever their wages need to be. Can I do that in the window of time they're buying me back?
Times 2 at least, right?
Yeah, I think our CSR started off part-time, 4 hours a day. And she bought back those 4 hours to where I could actually focus. We got a lot more done, and we very easily brought back double her paycheck in the first 2 weeks. So it was a no-brainer from there, just from 4 hours a day.
Yeah. Yep. That's huge. And that's where I get even more conflicted, because there's certain things I could be doing with AI and with just automation of software and things like that. We talked a lot about AI earlier this year, and software automating the things that we don't need to pay somebody $20 an hour to do, but it needs to happen like clockwork every week, every month, whatever it is. Because I'm thinking, okay, have I optimized that? Do I need to hire yet? So it's it's fun problems to have.
Right.
Getting too busy to keep up with the workload.
Yeah, when automation in itself isn't fully automated, somebody needs to be managing it, and it's whether you can keep up on those things of management, or just need someone part-time or semi-full-time just keeping an eye on it, right? Of it just freeing your mental space, because then you know where you need to go next.
Yeah.
If you've got 26 automation things going, things are running smoothly, but you're still thinking about them. Is it running smoothly? I've got to check on this. I got to check on this. So when you free up your workspace, when I'm not doing multiple jobs, I'm just thinking about the one and better at the one.
Oh yeah, absolutely. that's the other thing that's kind of led me to this point, this fork in the road, was thinking about, okay, what have I been distracted by this summer, this year, that has kept me from growing the need for this. Some of that is, getting my systems in place and setting those things up. Some of it is things that I committed to that are close to near and dear to my heart, but may not, I got to figure out, is this the season for this? Is helping a nonprofit grow, is helping, some kind of ministry grow. Is that what I need to be focused on right now? Does it get an hour a week? Does it get an hour a month? Or do I say, hey, somebody who's got more time and energy can take this on, and I'll be back.
Or is it difficult and you're having a hard time initiating it? Those are other things that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And if you bring somebody in that
trying to put the rock uphill, or
yeah. If you bring somebody else in that doesn't have that same level of stress, and they're just there to work, and you give them one task, they could probably look at it like it's your job, not what's holding you back. Because I get distracted all the time by stupid crap. I mean, Ashley calls me out because last week I was trying to book I was doing something else, and then one of the guys come in and they go, "Hey, tires are getting really low." So I stopped what I was doing, and then, which was valuable. And I was like, "Oh yeah, I better look for an appointment." Ashley goes, "Why are you doing that?" Huh. Well, because I thought about it, I really need to stay focused on the things that I need to work on, because is it really my job to be booking a tire appointment? No. And those things come in because there's so much stuff going on.
There are at least two other people who should think about that before you do.
Yeah, exactly. yeah. And because I do things that other guys can't do, and vice versa, right? So, and I catch myself doing that a lot. Sometimes it's because I don't want to overwork or overload the people that are around me. And it's a thoughtful place to be, but it's not productive. It's not really thoughtful because then it stops the rest of the growth. Like, I've been trying to work on a piece rate system for my guys for well over a month. I haven't got it accomplished yet. And instead of getting distracted by tires, I could have been doing something along those lines,
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Well, I constantly have stuff like pop up. Hey, can you do this? Sure. And I work on that. And is that the task that's most important, most profitable, or even to be fair to my clients, is that the best initiative program? Probably not. It's right and fun. So we're all working on that.
Well, how to not be so available, so you're only available for the things that are truly creating income.
Yeah.
And that's who was I talking to? Maybe it was you. I don't know, or somebody else.
Some very wise man.
Discussing the other day that I think it was at the dinner table at the house, and was talking about my role is to figure out how to create more income.
Mm-hmm.
It is not my job in any realm to figure out how to save money.
Yeah.
I know how to, right? Obviously, and a budget is a very important thing. But I'm not in the role that I'm in to figure out how to save money every week. Now, I don't need to go out there and spend whatever I want willy-nilly. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying I just need to be creating new ways that we can be more profitable, more efficient. It's somebody else's job, which is lead administrator, to figure out how we could be saving money. Are we spending money where we don't need? Is this worthwhile? I can look at those. If we have a coaching program, is it actually worth it? Is it worth it to pay for that stuff? But it's not my job to run the budget, because I am not valuable in that position. Most business owners really aren't. I don't think we're not supposed to be in that role of how do we save money on this, right? Because then you're constantly thinking about it. And there needs to be someone in every business that's thinking about, okay, how do we make more money? Because the business runs off of money. And then there needs to be somebody else that's sitting there going, how do we save money? And if you're stuck in both mindsets, you'll never get any further, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you'll be too timid to invest in the things that are actually going to make you money.
Right.
Or invest in the right things.
But it takes a lot of thought process. Yeah, exactly. To invest in the right thing, you have to think about that for a little bit. This coaching program that we got on, completely valuable. We're not going to get rid of it, but it went through several weeks of thought that went into it of, okay, which one's the right one? Will we see a return on this, whether they make the promises that we're going to or not, which everyone does because they're selling a product they believe in.
Yeah.
And so,
and it worked for somebody.
Then it worked for somebody. So it's like, well, is it going to work for us? And those things we have to think about. Oh yeah, it's a $1,200 investment. How much can I make off of this? And somebody has to go, which for me is Ashley. She has to go, okay, I think we can afford it. And somebody else needs to be sitting there going, well, I don't think we can afford not to. And those two minds can clash. And then somebody has to make the decision, which is me, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. And for her, she's got to constantly come along behind you and go, hey, Mike, you hired this person and also you bought this thing. They're doing the same job. Which one do we want to get rid of?
Yeah.
You get rid of John? No, can't get rid of John. He's the best. Now, some of those other guys, we'll see.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
That's
Well, I don't know about the best. I mean, I still got the record.
that's right.
Doing good.
He's the best.
That boiler system up in Crested Butte was 76. That's what you got to beat for the day. Yeah.
Hey, that's a good start. It's a good start.
15 years to 2 years.
Yeah, that's the difference right there. 30 grand, in a day. Yeah. That's, it's funny because I was doing that bathroom remodel yesterday and total price for it was 34. And I was thinking of coming down to like 32, but I didn't want to because I knew John.
All right. So I just shot out a quote and it was, there's like, okay, here's the, kind of break even level and here's where I want to be. And I tacked on an extra $500 a month because I've worked with this company before and they are
So check my invoice. That's what you're saying.
No, but I put an asshole tax on there because they're just such a pain in the butt.
Oh yeah, we do it all the time. It is a great feeling when you just raise the price because the person's a jerk. Yeah.
And honestly, they're not jerks, but they're just so they're so inconsistent and so unprofessional about some things that I don't want to just get into a business relationship with them if it's not going to be highly profitable.
Right.
They're just not worth the hassle. So it's like, yeah, I'll work with you if you're going to pay this. And the real question will be if they actually pay it for more than a month or two, because that's how it seems to go under the nest. They pay it for a month or two, and then they go, "Oh yeah, we just had this happen, and we don't have to put it on hold for now." I was like, "That's not how the contract works." Thanks.
Yeah.
So I just solved my own problem, didn't I? Hopefully I'm too expensive for.
Yeah, and we've got clients. It's normally the cheaper clients that are more of a pain anyway. They're going to call you a lot more, and complain about every little thing because they have such high expectations, but they don't want to pay for it. I feel like I have my difficulties, and I get that, but I feel like I'm a fairly easy client that's not in the areas that we do outsource and we need other people to do the work. I'm not a real pain in the butt.
Oh no,
right?
You typically overpay and under criticize.
Right.
That's why you're my favorite customer. I was talking to a home builder last week, and they were saying that they've had people not pay for homes to live, and I just think like, really, like that's one, it's dumb because it's not very difficult to go put a lien on that, and all of a sudden these people don't own the home that they're living in. And two, by her description, these are people who have the money and are just choosing not to, or they really have, massively over invested or overspent. That's how does that? I guess a lot of people, but that was the first I'd heard of people not paying for a custom home build.
Oh yeah, you just get ridiculous stuff that happens like that all the time, and it's a bizarre way of thinking. had a customer call and complain earlier about the service charge all the way to Fruta
For $79.
for $79, fare 70 miles. That's pretty good.
It's really good.
Had all the parts there, got them done himself in an hour, and didn't like our quote. He's like, well, I just decided to do it myself, but I didn't want to. And I tell him on the phone, I'm like, why do you think that your time is worth less than the company you're hiring? Like, I don't understand. He's like, well, I if I was charging this out, I'd have charged myself $400 to do this. Okay. And I'm trying not to, it's like, it's not even worth my energy right now. I'll just get rid of this $79 charge. I'm not going to fight you over it because he wasn't going to pay it anyway. But I was like, why would you think that your time is worth less than ours? He's like, well, because it wasn't that difficult. It's like, then why waste my time to come out? Like, you just paid for my gas and not even that, right? It's not even a logical thought process that I could possibly think.
Yeah, like, okay, you would have charged yourself $400. I've got 15 years of experience, thousands of dollars worth of equipment, overhead and office and things like that. So of course I'm, double or triple what you'd have charged yourself.
Yeah.
But apparently this person's either not in business or not very successful in business. Right?
Idiot. Yeah.
Well, it's like that person who you said had 28 rentals and somehow no money.
Yeah. I just don't want that life. Yeah.
No. If you ever get a rental property, you can raise the rates more than $600 a month.
But yeah, I mean, to follow the market at least. You could be a little bit low, but that's ridiculous.
Did they say anything about their rates, like as far as they wanted to provide an economical opportunity?
Yeah, I was thinking like they were Section 8 or something, but these are decent houses. They're just a little rundown, but the insides were nice.
They're run down because they only charge $600 a month and can't afford to keep them up.
And that's that they're nice people, right? And that's the problem. They've been charging the same for rent as they have that tenant had been there for 12 years. And they were talking to him about raising the rates. And he's like, yeah, but I've been a good tenant. They're like, well, come on, man. Doesn't matter whether you're a good tenant or not. You can't even cover property taxes with that.
Right. Yeah. Yep. That's absolutely true. Don't make bad business decisions to be nice people.
No, it doesn't work.
That's not nice to be. Well, it's just like politics. Like, we want to give away free education and medicine to everybody in the world, and that would be great. But if you do that, then you can't even take care of the basics for the people who you actually are responsible for. So, I don't know. Did I lose you already?
No, I heard.
You don't want to talk politics? All right, I got it. All right, that means it's time to wrap up. Thanks for joining the Unrivaled Potential Podcast.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe. Give us, pink heart emojis and stuff like that. And
They've got to have those.
Come back next week.
Feel good emojis.
Mike's got an interesting interview with another business owner next week. So we'll see you next week. That's all I've got. Yeah, you do. Just be here, same time, same bat channel.
Yeah, all right. Sounds good.
All right. Have a good one.